Okay. All right. Let's make sure I got this. Okay, good. Let's make sure I got this. Background a little bit. There we go. Okay, everyone can hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
good, guys. Hey, I'm really excited. Really excited. Thank you. All right, so we're kind of working on some new stuff here as we're expanding. So again, you guys know who I am, but let me reintroduce myself. Of course, my name is Shawn James, and I am part of I Am Mastery Academy Forex Trading Education. And of course, this is our Monday night trading class here. And so what we do, ladies and gentlemen, is we invite people from all over, not just for our team, Team Wealth Builders, who we're under the illustrious Dr. Jewel Tankard as our chairman, 50, soon to be chairman 100, where she'll be making over $100,000 a month from this platform. And so I'm definitely glad that we're a part of that. And so what we do every Monday night, ladies and gentlemen, is we kind of go over basics, kind of the foundations of foreign exchange trading and cryptocurrency trading. And so what we require sometimes as a prerequisite is to go through the I Am Mastery Academy so that you can get the basics. But then you also need a place where you can kind of put things together where, when you're by yourself, sometimes you're trying to understand, okay, am I doing it right? I'm not quite sure. And so what we want to do here in this particular space is be able to pull all those pieces of your foundation together. And we're going to start looking at trades. We're going to start talking about some foundational pieces. And then from there, this is an open forum. You can ask whatever question that you like. Feel free to unmute yourself. This is very interactive. We just want to make sure that you're getting your questions answered. If you've never traded before, then this is just, an introduction. Don't try to understand everything. That's what the I Am Mastery Academy is for, is to teach you the basics and the fundamentals so that you can understand everything. And so from here, if you feel like it's over your head, it's okay. Just keep plugging in week after week and getting into the education so that you can be involved. Just to add this other plug, we currently have a promotion that's going on. Today's day is December 9th, 2019, as we're filming this live on YouTube. And thank you for all my YouTube viewers and subscribers to the Team Wealth Builder channel. We have a promotion that's going between now and December 31st to get involved in the education so that you could get a premier Forex and cryptocurrency education. Is just $199 to get you started. It's about $165 a month every 30 days. And of course, we offer a way to scholarship your way out of the program if you refer two individuals to the education to go with you, okay, so you guys can learn together as a group. Then they will waive your monthly fee from that point on. And so, guys, I started 3 years ago approximately, and it's been a great journey ever since. Because of foreign exchange trading, it has allowed me to leave my full-time job and retire from corporate America and be able to do this full-time. So I'm very, very excited for that. So tonight, what our subject is, we're going to talk about trading systems, okay? Trading system. Having a systematic way of approaching your trade so that you can kind of get a consistent results from that, okay? Consistent results. And so, what I found out being in the last 3 years, of course, by no means am I a professional trader. Again, I am still just a novice trader myself, but I have done well in the market. And again, what I love is that all the people that you see here on the call are my brothers and sisters, where we're all learning together on this journey. And our goal has been all year long, every Monday for the last 3 years, has been to get to a point of having over 6 and 7 figures in your broker account just from trading. So I believe this has been a good forum to kind of pull together our resources and kind of compare notes and try different strategies so that you can become successful at trading, because this is such a valuable skill. Where else can you take something as little as $10 and grow it into $10,000? Okay. And of course, past performance does not dictate or promise future gains. It's not guaranteed that you're going to get those results. What we are going to guarantee is that if you plug into the education and you engage at least anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes a day, that you can go ahead and learn some great information. Okay. So today what we're going to talk about is a trading system or a plan. And so there's different from a trading plan. Like some people have a plan where they're going to follow a growth chart or whatever. We're going to go over that too. But here what we want to talk about is being able to have a systematic approach to how you go about your trades. And I'm going to show you what my plan has been. And a lot of it is kind of repetitious, but guess what, guys? The more and more that you do it, the easier it becomes. And then you'll be able to focus and concentrate just on the trades. And then we'll work on your entry and your exits, and you'll start winning trades consistently. And this is something that I had to really work on. So let's kind of go through what exactly is this trading plan that I'm talking about. So first of all, what I'm trying to break down is when I approach getting on the Forex charts, okay, getting on the charts to look at the candles. All right. Excuse me. What I do is I go through about 3 or 4 steps consistently so that I can make sure. Okay. So that I am make sure I'm not missing any details. Okay. And what happens a lot of times is we just jump into a chart. We look at something, maybe one piece of something, and we miss something in our trading system. And I'm not going to say that this is the perfect system that I have, but what I'm going to say is I've gotten very good consistent results that I can say at least over 70 to 80% of the time I'm winning my trades because I'm following a system or approach into getting into the trades. Okay. And so let me kind of share one thing. So the first step is we talk about the currency strength meter. I know I've introduced that to a couple people, and some people are like, what is that? So I'm going to kind of introduce that and how to use the currency strength meter. And so that's going to allow me to go ahead and find out what pairs am I going to jump into if I don't see something on the particular tools. Okay. And then we're going to talk about, of course, checking the news. Most of you know how to do that. But in case if you're new to this space, again, we just want to make sure that your plan is kind of solid. Okay. You can deviate from this plan, but these are the pieces that I found out are very crucial to my success as far as consistently winning my trades. Okay. So the first thing is we're using this currency strength meter, and this is what I use. There's other ones out there, guys, so don't worry, but here's what the link is on top. It's livecharts.co.uk/currency-strength.php. Okay, so this right here is going to be the link, and when we post this video on YouTube, I'll go ahead and put this link down into the description so that you guys can utilize that tool. And so basically, guys, what I use this for is if I'm not using a specific tool in the I Am Mastery Academy, which we have over about 14 different tools that you could use to help assist you in entering and exiting trades, sometimes I do what we call freestyle. You know, there's some of you who's going to watch this video later and say, well, you know what, Shawn, I'm not in I Am Mastery, but I still want to learn some basics of trading. And so this is, regardless whether I'm using a tool or not using a tool, this is still part of my trading system. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to look at here, and basically how you read this is, of course, if it's got this red bar on the bottom, it just means that that particular currency, that quoted pair, is very weak. Okay, that's at the lowest power meter, the lowest strength meter right there. And then, of course, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars that'll show the strength. Okay, that's going to be when it's at its strongest. And so what you're going to do is you're going to pair a weak to a strong. Okay, a weak to a strong pair. Okay, and what that does is that's going to give us an idea of what the trend is in the market. It's going to give us a trend. Okay, so for instance, if I do GBP, which right now, as you see, out of all the pairs next to NZD is kind of strong right now. It's not the very strongest. Okay, it's not the very top of the level, but it is fairly strong at this time of day. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pair this. I'm not going to look at these other pairs per se. I can go straight to GBP CHF, okay, and look at that on a chart. And it should be, since these are the first 3 letters, okay, right here, the base pair right here, whatever the base pair is, that's going to dictate the trend. So because this is strong, because it's going up, and this being down the second three letters, then this should be, when I look at the chart, up in a buy. This should be headed into a buy pattern, okay, which means it's ascending and going up in an uptrend. Okay, obviously, if it's reversed, if this was very weak and then CHF, or I picked another one that was strong, then that would be in a sell or a down pattern. Okay, it would be in a descending trend. Okay, and so that gives me a good reference, because what I'm concerned about, the biggest question is, well, Shawn, why do you want to, compare or have a contrast between those two pairs? Because what it's going to do is, mentally, guys, it's going to not allow me to worry about when it retraces, when it starts to go in a pullback. Okay, because that's a lot of the hard part of trading. Is a lot of people get scared because it starts to retrace, it starts to pull back, it starts to go in the opposite direction. Well, if I have confidence that the strength is in my favor, okay, then even when it does a pullback, I'm not worried about jumping out of the trade. Okay, because the strength is going to continue in that direction that it's denoting on the graph. So basically, if I look at GBP CHF, which I'll look at here in a second, it should be going in a buy. It may not be real strong because the market is still kind of moving kind of slow, but it still should be ascending. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into that real quick. Pull my MetaTrader 4, GBP CHF. Let's see if I even have it on my chart, because that's kind of a minor pair. Let's see. GBP CHF right here. Okay. Okay. And I want to make sure everybody can see my chart. Can you see my chart? Did it switch for you? Can somebody unmute and tell me yes or no?
No.
Okay, not a problem. Let's get that reshared. Good. Okay. So here is GBP CHF. I'll go down to a 15-minute. Okay, and as I said, it should be heading in a buy, and that's exactly what it's doing. Okay, because of my strength meter. I'm sorry, say again.
Your chart is only a little piece in the corner. We can't see it. Oh, never mind. I got it. I apologize.
It's right here. No problem. Okay, let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. All right. Let's make it convenient. So, okay, so good. So right here. So yeah, so this is in a buy pattern. It's an ascending pair. It's going up, and that's exactly what I want to see. And see, when you use a strength meter, okay, and it's giving me a clue or giving me some evidence that's in a buy, look at the pullbacks that it does have. Look, it's a red candle here, a red candle starting to form here. This is on the 15-minute chart, which means that every candle, it takes 15 minutes of transactions to make this candle. That's 15 minutes. Well, look, because the strength meter told me it's kind of heading that direction, I'm confident that if I got into this, it's going to continue ascending to a certain point. Now, that's just one piece of the trading system. That's the first place that I go to when I'm just looking randomly at pairs. Now, what I want you to do is you still have to pair this with support and resistance. Okay, because a lot of us look at the strength and say, oh, it's going up, and we jump in, and then we forget that support and resistance still matters. Okay, so you still have to pay attention to that, because that's where you're going to get a speed bump. That's where you could get an area of rejection where it could turn your trade. Because some people say, well, look, the strength said it was going in a strong buy. I don't know why when I jumped in and started to reverse. Well, because you hit an area of support or resistance. Okay, so you definitely want to make that your second, your primary piece in your trading system. Okay, so that's the first thing. All right, so let's go back. Let's find the second piece of my system here. It's going to be checking the news. Everybody's kind of familiar with that, checking the news. And we're going to go to specific site. That'll tell me about that. And everyone, at least everybody here who's on the call is somewhat familiar with it. For those who are new, we have a site that's called forexfactory.com. Forexfactory.com. And again, I'll put that link down into the description of the video so that you can access that. But what this site does, ladies and gentlemen, is basically it's going to give us news that's specifically geared toward the foreign exchange market. Of course, you have stock market news. You also have cryptocurrency happenings, situations questions that'll describe what's happening in the market. Well, here this pertains to the Forex market, which is what we're concentrating here. Very easy chart here on the top. You could set it to where it'll show you the number of pip change within a certain time period. Okay, I like pip change within the last hour because generally if I jump on to a chart, I want to know what happened within the last 60 minutes, okay, and find out what was moving the most. And here you can kind of look and see what is kind of moving. So UCAD moved negative 10 pips within the last hour. All the rest are kind of under double digits. So basically that lets me know that the market is moving very slow right now. When you're at a period of high activity, these numbers will start to get into the double digits. Okay, and that will help me determine, well, which pair should I start looking at? Okay, all right, so then the next part here is we understand that news does affect the markets. Okay, it does affect, but we want to be specific as far as what type of news affects, and not all news affects the market, just specific ones. And here, these folders, these are folders that has specific news attached to it. Here it tells you the pair, okay, that we're looking at, and then it tells us the time, of course, the date, the time of day that the news is going to be announced, okay, which is going to give us a pinpointed time as far as when we will see specific movement in the market. And then, of course, the red folder, if it's red, that means it's high impact. Okay, that means it's for sure pretty much 70, 80 to 90% of this news, the information will move the market one way or another. Okay, and because it has AUD, that means it's going to affect the Australian dollar in some way. In some pairs it may shoot the price up, and other pairs that may shoot the price down. And then of course I put an orange folder. That's kind of secondary news. It's still priority, but not as priority as the red. The market is affected by some orange folders, so I like to put that there. And then of course I do highlight gray folders. Okay, if you see a gray folder, let me see, there's none here, but usually that lets us know that the market is closed in that particular session, okay, or that pair. So basically, if I saw AUD, it would have a gray fold. That means that a bank is closed in the Australian market, and that there's probably not going to be any trading going on, or it will be a specific holiday of some sort, okay? So those things will let me know maybe I don't want to trade that particular pair. See, so that's going to help me in my trading system as far as where I want to concentrate. Okay, because a lot of us will jump in, oh, it looks like AUD USD is moving. And then you find out, well, the banks are closed. But you didn't know that because you didn't check your news, okay, before you got started into the market. So now you'll jump in there and you'll wonder why you're trying to go for 25 pips and you're waiting for 5 hours and the market hasn't moved. Okay, so that's just not smart use of time. So the thing that I want you guys to get out of this is by having a system, you're going to be efficient, you're going to be focused, you're going to be targeted. You can get your pips in and out of the market in a short amount of time instead of having to look at the charts for hours and hours and hours, because a lot of you are burning yourself out. I understand if you've been in for any length of time, you're looking at the charts for hours at a time, you're wondering why you may or may not find certain trades to jump into, or you desperately are looking at a trade and you're trying to make something out of nothing. Okay, you're trying to force 5 pips out of a trade. Instead, I want you to do this effortlessly where you're finding the optimal times and the optimal pairs to jump into so that you can easily get your pips and get out of the market. You reduce your risk, you reduce your stress, okay, and you're laser focused as far as getting in and out of the market. Okay, so that's my second piece of the trading system, is first looking at the currency strength meter. Second is checking out the news with forexfactory.com. Okay, and so the third part is going to be my growth chart. Okay, so I want to make sure I can switch to that and you guys see that. Okay, so now this is new to some people. Okay, so luckily over the past year and a half, I've been introduced to this by some great traders, and of course a lot of us have adopted this. But here's the thing I want you to get: why do we want to adopt a plan like this? Okay, couple reasons why this should be an integral part of your trading plan. Okay, number one, it's going to give me direction. Okay, it's going to give me direction as far as, okay, how am I going to grow my account, and what kind of target am I trying to get? What are the results that I'm trying to get to let me know that I'm satisfactorily hitting these goals? Okay, so what I did is here. This is an Excel sheet, and again, get with whoever invited you on the call. You can get with myself, whatever. Send me a message or text or something, and I'll make sure that I send you a copy of this growth chart. But basically, guys, we took an example of starting your Forex account with a balance of $250. That's a really, good roundabout price to start off your account. You can start a little less at $100. You can start a little more, 500 or more. It's totally up to you. And I've definitely had people that started their accounts with about $50 or so and grow their account. Okay. And then we selected a growth rate. Okay. And what's incredible about the foreign exchange market is that unlike the bank, unlike a stock, unlike a CD, you might put a certain amount, you might put a certain amount in your account, and you're looking at maybe 8% per day, maybe. That would be really aggressive. There's not many investment vehicles that's going to give you 8% per day. Okay. You'll be lucky if you can get 8% a month, and definitely in some instruments, you'll be lucky if you could even get 8% a year. Okay. You definitely won't get that in your bank account. Most CDs will kind of average anywhere from 4 to somewhere around 8%. It just depends if you have an aggressive CD or growth plan. Some funds will allow you to have about, somewhere between 6 to maybe 10%, on a monthly or quarterly basis. But the great thing about the foreign exchange market is, guys, not only can you grow your account 8% daily, but guess what? I can go ahead and grow my account 8% per transaction. Okay? I really want you to get the power of that, 8% per transaction. All right? So what do I mean by that? So $250 is what I'm starting. So now, okay, over here, these are going to be the number of trades that I do. Okay, I'm going to do a certain trade. It's going to yield me a certain amount. So if I start, like for myself, depending on your schedule, okay, let's say you can do maybe 4 or 5 trades in a day, okay, but you're working, so maybe you might put 1 or 2 trades in the morning before you go to work. Maybe at lunchtime you can put in a couple trades, and maybe when you get off work in the evening time, you may have about an hour or so to spare, so you put in a couple trades there. Okay, so but I'm going to just talk about four trades. So let's say you're able to just do 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening when you get off work. Just 4 trades a day. Four trades a day. You start off with an account of $250. Let me show you how I'm going to have a plan in my strategy to help me aggressively grow my account. So I start off and I go 1, 2, 3, 4 trades for today. Okay, at 8% growth. All right. That means each trade, every time I go into a trade, what I'm doing is over here. How do we do this? We change our lot size every time we do a transaction. So when I do the first one, it's going to be at 0.20. Okay. When I go in the market a second time, I'm going to go at 0.22. When I do the third time, I'm going to change it to 0.23. And when I do it the fourth time, I'm changing to 0.25. So every time I go in, I'm changing it. Okay. But see, here's what the problem is. A lot of people start getting in trading and they're too busy going for a lot of pips. Okay. And you don't necessarily have to do that. Okay. That's the great part. If we can find you a strategy that where you can yield about 10 pips every time you touch the market, well, guess what? You're on your way to 6 and 7 figures in your trading account. And that's exactly what we do here in I Am Mastery Academy, and what we do as a group here on Team Wealth Builders is we're going to show you a couple strategies where you can, go ahead and streamline the process so you could get 10 pips out of the market. If we take care of your trading system, it'll make you very efficient. So you don't even have to worry about I don't know what to send my account to. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what my goals are. I don't know if I don't know why it's moving this way. See, all these questions are answered in my trading system. I know the currency strength meter, so I know what trend I'm in. And I know I'm going to stay in that for a minute. I check the Forex Factory. I know what news is coming or not coming. So I don't have to worry about a sudden move in the market, and if there is some news, I can time myself to get in the market, get my pips and get out before I have any radical moves in the market. And then I have a growth chart where I'm specifically following a plan. I know where I want to go. I know how much per day I want to go ahead and grow my account, and I'm hitting that goal, and I don't stop until I hit that goal for the day. That's what I do. Okay, let's say I get to trade 1, 2, and 3, but I lose trade number 4. Well, guess what? I'm probably going to go in and get that next trade, do 2 more trades till I get to that money mark, so I can stay on my plan. Okay, that's what I do. Okay, so after the fourth trade in one day, I grew my account from $250 to $340. Okay, I mean, that's $90 gain. Tell me how many places are you going to go and just in one day grow your account by $90? Okay, let's do this. Day number 2, we do 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I'm at $462. Okay, let me highlight that. I do 4 more trades. I'm at $629. Okay, let's go down. I do 4 more trades. 16. Look, I'm at $856. Okay, what am I at day number 4? I went from $250 to $856. Okay, I'm doing 4 trades. Let's go here. Okay, 20 trades that I put in. That's 5 days. I got $1,100 in my account. Okay, let's get a little bit more. Let's go to 40. Let's go to 40. I'm just going to jump to 40. Okay, 4 trades a day that the market is open. I'm already at $5,431. Okay, that's 10 trading days. Okay, I'm doing only 4 trades a day. There's some of you that do way more. You guys can do 10 trades a day. You guys might do 6 trades a day. You guys might do, it just depends on your schedule. But I'm being very, very conservative here. If you're just doing 4 trades a day, the next 10 days, you grew from $250 to $5,400. How many of you can use an extra $5,000 poof out of nowhere? Okay, I'm just using this as part of my trading plan. Let's go a little bit more. Let's go to I want to make sure my math stays easy. Let's go to okay, let's just stop right here at 51. Okay, $12,000. Okay, let's go to trade number 62. All right, 62. That's 29,526. Let me get my math out. That's trade number 62 divided by 4 trades a day. That's 15.5. Let's say 16 days. That's 2 weeks. Okay, that's 2 weeks of trading. That's all. 15 and a half days. You already got close to $30,000 in your account. See, the reason I want you to have a solid trading plan or strategy, okay, or a platform, is that if you can eliminate having to think those things out, then all you're spending your time doing is getting in and out of the trade, just getting 10 pips and getting it out. And I just say 10. It's up to you, depending on what type of trader you are. If you're a swing trader and you want to go for large pips, you still can use this trading plan. It doesn't change. You still can go ahead and just do more pips. And what you'll do, you'll just stay at those certain lot sizes until you get the financial goals that you want. What I want to show you guys is that getting 6 figures in your account is very, very obtainable. You just need to have the right pieces of the puzzle put together. And that's what we're here to do on Team Wealth Biz. We're here to help you be successful at putting the pieces together. Okay, so that's 62 trades. Let's go on that, because some of you are saying, yeah, Shawn, I want to make 6 figures. Okay, look. 78 trades, that's $101,000. We start with $250. Okay, 78 trades divided by just 4 trades a day. That's 19.5. That's 20 days. That's 20 days. 20. So people want to know, man, is it possible to make 6 figures in 30 days? I'm gonna let you answer that. Numbers don't lie, guy. Compound interest doesn't lie. This is black and white right here. You're just seeing it. Now, is it risky? Absolutely. But see, this is why you get premier education. This is why you get coaching. This is why we're going to have tools. This is why we have all these things, because we want to minimize the risk as much as possible. There won't be zero risk. There just won't. But guess what? As you get better, you get to minimize the risk. So people say, what's the difference between gambling and trading? Well, guess what? You can't control your risk with gambling. You can't control the card. You can't control the dealer. You can't control the deck. You can't control any of that. Okay? But guess what? I can control how much money I lose on each trade. If I decide I want to lose less than 3% on each trade, then I'll make sure with my stop loss, I'm not going to lose that much. And I'm going to do my confirmation so that I don't feel unsure about jumping the trade. If it doesn't look like a great trade, if my indicators and everything doesn't fall in line with my confirmation, I don't do the trade. And the more and more you do it, guess what? The more you systematically do it, the better you're going to get. You have no choice. You're just going to get better. But see, the problem is some of you are all over the place. Every week you're trying a new strategy. Every week you're doing this. You're trying that. You're doing this. I think I'll do this. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. And you have no plan of attack. And you're switching up. Before you can even get into a rhythm, you guys change up. I do everything the same way so that it's consistent. It's almost effortless for me to trade now because I look at these things. I look at my chart, support resistance. I see the trend. I see what my indicator is supposed to do. I'm in and out the trade. I get my 10 pips. I mark another line off on my chart, and I move down. Okay, so now 20 days to get to 100,000. But let's say, Shawn, I don't even want to do 4 trades. Let's say I only want to do 2 trades. I just want to do 2 trades a day. Okay, that's still 78. We're just doing 2 trades a day. Okay, 40 days. Okay, 40 days. So a month and 10 days. So it takes you, if you just do 2 trades a day to get 10 pips, that's it. 2 trades, 10 pips, still takes you 40 days for you to get that. How many days do we have till Christmas? I mean, till the end of the year. What do we have? 20, what would it be, 19 days? I mean, I'm sorry, let me see. We're 31. We're at day number 9. We got 22 days. Okay, so I already showed you in 20 days, if you were to start today at 250 on an 8% growth, by Christmas, you could have 6 figures in your trading account. I mean, it's in front of you. I'm not trying to hype anything out. I'm not trying to do it. For those of you who are accountants and CPAs and all that, do the math. The math is right here in front of you. The whole goal is we just were trying to get 10 pips, 10 out of the market. That's it. So let's go a little further because I like to be it. Now, I'm a little bigger. I want 7 figures, guys. Okay, 7 figures. Let's go 1 million. I don't know how many of y'all want that, but I'm gonna tell you, if you're on this team, we're pushing to get that. I want individuals to be able to do that. So 108 trades. I'm doing 4 trades a day. 108. I'm just doing 4. That's 27 days. And less than 30 days. 27 days of the market being open, you'll get to $1,017,000. I don't know about you. I get excited when I see stuff like that. Like, that's obtainable. I've done real estate investing. It was obtainable, definitely, but it was a little bit more, a lot more pieces to the puzzle. Did I get the right property? Am I doing it? I got to go through closing. I got to get my down payment. I got to get my financing right. I got to find the right realtor. Am I in the right? Do I know? What if I get the right renter? How do I? I got too many pieces. So I know that gets me to $1 million, but there's still so many moving pieces. Here, we just got to show you how to get 10 pips out of the market. That's it. I just got to show you. And it's not even me showing you. The education will show you. We have over 60 plus educators in I Am Mastery that's going to show you how to get 10 pips out the market. See, a lot of you are trying to shoot for 25, 100 pips, and we're taking pictures. We're pip flexing. That's what I'm gonna say. We're pip flexing. We're showing what we do in our demos. Look, that doesn't matter. Can you get 10 pips? And can you do that consistently? If you can home in and get 10 pips, and you can do that 4 times a day, you can get to $1 million in 27 days. All right. So what else is part of the trading strategy? A tool. Let's add a tool on. Okay, we're going to add a tool. And I'm just going to talk about 2 simple tools. I'm not even going to talk about anything that's not in your $199 package. Let's see if I can get my harmonics on. Let's see. See if it'll let me log in. Let's see. It'll let me get in. All right, well, let me get in. Something's happening with the back office right now, but I'm going to show you one of my other tools. I really like it. So far, helped me make some good money, and it can help you too. All right, so part of our wonderful IM Mastery Academy is this tool. It's a software, okay? You get through your membership. If you have the platinum package, you'll have to add this on. It's only an additional, I think, $21 onto your package, so that'll bring your payment from $164 to $185 a month, okay? But I promise you, it's worth the money. And so what this does, guys, is basically it's just going to scan the market with algorithms. Is going to show potential trade ideas in the market. It pops up and tells you where trade reversals are happening. So it's going to tell you when there's a reverse in the market, when maybe it was going up in a buy, then it's gonna cha-ching. Let me see what the cha-ching is so you guys can hear it. It's gonna make it. It's gonna make it. Oh, you want to make the noise now? All right, let's 1 second. Let's see. There we go. I love that sound. Okay, that money sound. Okay, it's going to make that sound. And so when you hear that sound, it's letting you know that it's reversing in the market. And so now, okay, by using the education, you're going to pick whatever strategy that you like to use to get 10 pips out the market. And we got something that's going to already show you what pair, so you don't have to necessarily, look all over the place and figure it out. We're going to let you know. And so this particular strategy here that I have is called the BYOB. It's called the Be Your Own Bank strategy. I give credit to the creator, Ms. Tasha M. Dyer. She is a phenomenal trader. And basically, guys, she uses Hakanashi candles. Look that up. Okay, Hakanashi candles. And she uses PSARs, which are these little dots on top that basically just shows us the strength of that particular momentum that it's going. As you see, red candles is moving down on this. This is Euro AUD, looking pretty good. Already figured it out for me. It's going down. It's clearly going down in a trade. Okay. How we know is we see it coming down with the red candles. What I'm looking for is these candles that don't have a little wick, these little lines on top. It's not on top. So that's letting me know there's some strength in that downward momentum. Okay. So guess what? I just need to get 10 pips out of this. Okay, I need to see if I can get 10 pips. And so the red dots are on top. So we have what we call a PSAR flip. So the PSARs were on the bottom. If it's on the bottom, that means it's pushing up for a buy. Buy candles are pushing up in price. When it flips to the top, that's called a PSAR flip. That means that now the momentum is starting to come downward. And so that's what we want. Now, remember what I told you. We follow our system. I would have looked at Euro AURD. We see we have no news right at this time. The strength is kind of in our favor. That's why it's headed downward. But guess what I need to do? I just need to put support and resistance. I still got to do a little bit in here, okay? Just so I set myself up for success. So I still want to know where the market is going to possibly go, and I don't want to hit a brick wall, okay? So I'm going to do my support and resistance here. Okay. And so I see I got some space. I look at my stochastic down here. So the stochastic, the red line, which shows the strength for my sell, is on top, which is what I want. The blue is on the bottom, and it's still headed downward. That looks great. Now, let me measure it because I want to know, do I have space? Do I have space to get 10 pips? Let's see. Okay. I got approximately about 12 pips down there. Very possible. I probably could do that. Let's see. I'm going to go just to double check. I want to see what my next level is. Oops, let's fix this. All right. All right, cool. So this kind of lets me know my next level is down here. So if it breaks that level, I just want to know if I don't get my whole 10 pips, do I have another chance to get it? Possibly. Okay. And this is all I do, guys. I don't put trend lines. I don't do Fibonacci. I don't do all that stuff. You can. All that you can learn through the IM Mastery Academy. But I keep trading really, really simple. I'm just trading in between levels. Okay? This is a nice swinging pair. It's headed downward. Look at this. Even on an hour chart, You see where I'm at? I have a piece on top. I have a flat Hakanashi. It's coming down. I know it's coming down. It's just a matter of how far. Well, guess what? I at least know it's going to make it here. This is going to be an area of support. Okay? So I'm going to pay attention to that. And let's see. Do I want to squeeze 10 out of that? Maybe. Yeah, even on the hour chart, I got 19 pips in it. Yeah, I'll do that. Let's look on my Euro odd. Let me pull up my thing here. Pull up my chart. I think I may want to jump in this, guys. I may just want to do that. Let's look. Euro odd right here. Okay, I actually have the BYOB on here, set up. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing that I did because I want to be consistent. I'm going to see where my support resistance. And I just mark it. I mean, look how long it's taking me to do this. I mean, it doesn't take me long once you know what you're doing. I just want a guideline. Just want to be safe. Make sure I don't hit a brick wall. Boom. Okay. Look, my stochastic's headed down. Looks good. Kind of doing that. All right. I don't need nothing big. I'm going to do a standard on this. Okay, for those of you getting to know pips, remember, take your lot size, multiply times 10. That's going to tell you the actual money that you make or lose on the trade. I'm going $10 per pip. I'm doing a sell. You gonna let me jump in? Okay, let's jump in. I'm in the trade. Okay, I'm in the trade. That's it. So I can wait. Put my stop loss probably. Let me see. 17, 18. I like about a 20, 25 pip stop loss. That's my personal preference. That's not a have to. I just like that. I'm only looking for 10 pips. Let's see. I'm right on the line. 10.3 is where I'm at. And that's it, guys. I'm just going to look at this number. I'm going to let it go. I did my homework. I did my analysis. I leave it alone. I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to, oh my God, I don't know what's going to do. I got to trust the process. My PSAR's on top. That looks great. My Hakanashi is here. Okay. It's going to take a minute for it to get here. But guess what? That's going to be one trade out of my, growth chart. Okay. Now, of course, you can twin trade. You could double trade. You could do that if you want to. That means just putting it in twice if your account can handle. But what I would do is say, like I'm doing a standard here, I would just break. If I wanted to do double, I would just do 0.50. Okay, I would cut this in half and I would do a 0.50 instead of doing a whole 1.0 just to keep my margin level down. Okay, and then I could, gain a little bit more by doing a double trade there. But actually, kind of the same. Kind of works out the same. So yeah, guys. So that's the trading system that I do. It's trading system that I use, and see, it allows me, if you really kind of look at it, once you do this over and over and over again, I'm telling you, this whole process that I did, the more you do it, it usually takes me anywhere from 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute. I'd probably take me exactly 1 minute to go through everything that I just did. To go through checking the strength meter, checking the Forex Factory, pulling up a pair on, I'll look at the vibrata. If it pulls up something and it looks good and it fits my criteria, I'll jump in. I'll mark my support resistance. That's all I need. And I'll get in the trade. Look at that. We're already kind of going into profit right now. Just a little bit. Okay. It's bouncing around, but my stochastic is turned downward. My red's on top. Still has some to go. I believe even when it reaches this level, if it breaks that level, it's going to come down here, which will be additional pips. I can always go in again and be a second trade. Look at it, even down here to this next level is probably somewhere around 30 pips. I could jump in this. This is trade number 1. If it hits 10 pips, that's trade number 1 on my growth chart. I could jump in for another 10 if it breaks this level. Then I could jump in for another 10. If it continues, I go down for another 10. I could be 3 trades out. But guess what? Doesn't matter. If it gets down here and it reverses, let's say it goes up here and it heads back up, I know where it's going because I wrote my support and resistance here. So guess what? I can jump right back in and ride it 10 pips upward. See, this is preparation in trading. See, the market can only go two ways for me. Well, actually, it can go three, but I'm only looking for two ways. It can go up, it can go down, or it could go sideways. It could just consolidate. And even if it consolidates, I'm waiting for it to go up or down. But see, a lot of you are jumping into the market and you're not prepared. You're not looking for your A and B direction. You're in your mind, you're set that if it doesn't go down to sell, oh my God, and it reverses on me, I'm just, oh my God, I'm devastated. I get scared and you pull out. No, guess what? If you mark this up, my support and resistance, we talked about this last week. When you mark up your chart, and that's all I did, marking up is just putting my support and resistance. It's going to come and retest this area. Okay, so there's no point for me to go beyond this area. I need to make my take profit somewhere either right at this line or right before it. I try to make it right before, but we're shooting for 10 pips. This is for demonstration purposes only. We're going to see if it makes it to 10 pips. If it retests this area and breaks through it, then guess what? I can go down to the next level, which is 30 pips. I can get in this about 3 more times. If it retests and goes up, then guess what? I go in for a buy and I make my pips going up. I don't care it didn't go down. And we have to change that thinking while we're trading. We have to be more flexible. And the reason we're not flexible is because we're not prepared. When you get prepared, you'll kind of have an idea of which way the market's going to go. I can care less whether it shoots down and goes down to 30 pips or turns back up. Either way, I'm going to wait and prepare for whatever way it goes. Once I can determine that it's going up in a buy, guess what? I'm going to jump back in and get 10 pips going up. That's the beauty of foreign exchange market. Doesn't matter if the market goes up or down. I just need to determine which direction and jump in. Those of you who are new, like I have Miss Crystal, who's brand new, who's on. Crystal, the only thing you got to know is you just need a point A and an ending point B. And it can go down and you can make money, or you could go from point A to point B and it could go up and you can make money. All we're doing is we're going to show you by looking at the patterns of the market, which you see what goes up, guess what? Must come down. And what goes down must come up. So either way, you're still not losing because guess what? The market swings. Look at it. It just swings up and down. You're just trying to determine where on the elevator are you going to get on. Okay? Where are you going to get on? You're going to start up here, or are you going to wait, or what you going to do? So what I want to do is take the fear away from trading. Okay? You don't have to worry. You have a plan B. Okay? If it goes up and hits my stop loss, I don't care. Don't care. Hits my stop loss, I didn't over leverage. That'll just be one trade. So guess what? I might have to make up for 2 trades later. But guess what? If it hits my stop loss, then guess what? I reanalyze the trade and I check to see my support line or resistance line and say, okay, now it's headed downward. Then guess what? I jump in the market and I go get my 10 pips again. I said, no. You got me on that. I know where the market, I confirmed it now. I see a bearish or impulsive candle. After it retests, it lets me know it's headed downward. I jump back in. I set another 10 pip take profit, get my 10 pips, maybe jump in again, get another 10. I made it for my loss, and then I even had a gain. Okay? This is a trading system that I at least want you to start. All of you through time are going to develop your own system, but I'm telling you, this is what has worked for me consistently. So look where we are, guys. I made 10 pip taker. I'm 6 point pips away. We might be able to lock this up before the call. I just want to make a little money while we're at it. We'll see how much I make on this. Okay. So if I close this, if I go ahead and hit profit on this, I'll make a profit of $70.42. I can take that. $70. How many times can you do that a day? $70? I mean, all right. So what I want to do is see if you guys have any questions. Anybody have any questions about any piece of the trading plan? I hope you guys took good notes. Again, this is to help you develop some sort of plan of trading so that you can become more comfortable in your strategy. And the thing is, you attack everything the same way. Even, guys, when I mark up a chart, I start from the top and I go to the bottom. Whatever your way is, just do it over the same way. And I promise you, through repetition, it becomes easier and it becomes better. You become more efficient. Some people go from the bottom to the top. Some people start from the middle and go up, down. Whatever your style is, just make sure that you follow that. And you can unmute to ask a question. All right, Yolanda, I'm glad that was a refresher for you. Trading doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be a bunch of Fibonacci's and breakdowns and all this lines. And it can. But professional traders that do this on a big time level, they're doing millions and millions and millions of dollars doing volume. And yeah, they can get into all of that, and that is necessary. I know that stuff through the I Am Mastery Academy. Christopher Terry does an excellent job of teaching you all of those things from whatever level that you want. If you want to stay at a beginner level, guess what? You can make money at a beginner level just using the tools. If you want to stay at the intermediate level and just know some stuff and use the tools, we have tools for the intermediate. But if you really want to, hey, I love this thing, I really want to get deep and entrench myself, guess what? We have a level for the most advanced. And you can, become a retail trader. You can become a big time trader. You can trade millions of dollars at that point using analytical type things. But I like simplicity. Okay. Yes, Yolanda, it's so easy to get caught up in the other stuff, then you find yourself confused. And I just like to bring simplicity to it. And then again, just using this, you'll learn, how simple trading can be. All I did was use a support and resistance. That's all I needed. And some people call it naked trading. I just call it simple trading. That's all. I just get the necessary meat off the bone that I need to be able to trade successfully. And again, I follow my growth chart. I'm only trying to get 10 pips out of the market. Sometimes I get a little bored with 10. Sometimes I want 15. I'll go for 15 pips. I'll say, man, that looks good. I want to get 15 pips. So I do flex sometimes and do that. But again, don't get caught up in trying to showboat that you can get all these pips. What you're trying to do is you're trying to grow your account. At the end of the day, that's what matters. That's why you guys are here. That's why you guys are paying a monthly payment. That's why you're believing in developing a skill set, because you're trying to grow an account. You're trying to show your friends, family, and everybody else that I took a little bit of money and I grew it into something major. Well, you can do that. Don't overcomplicate it. Stay focused. Find a simple trading strategy, just like what I laid out today. Check these little things, learn to properly mark up your chart, and then have confidence in it. When you're in your demo, you need to just practice going through your strategy. When I was in law enforcement, we practice what you call a breach. Okay, breach is when, and you guys see the cop shows and stuff, or some of you who've been in the military or law enforcement, we're going to enter into a building. Okay, we practice and drill and drill and drill and drill and drill over and over again. We kick in the same way. We enter the room the same way. Each person knows what they're supposed to do. We know every step of what we want to do. Doesn't matter what the house layout is. We've trained for every sort of house layout, whether it's a split level, whether it's an apartment building, whether it's a basement, whether it's a big long hallway, whatever it is, we train and train and train, and we do everything the same way until it becomes second nature, so that when somebody comes and aggresses us, we know exactly what to do and still be safe. Okay, it's the same thing I want you to do with trading. You enter the trade the same way. You follow checking out your currency strength meter, checking out your Forex factory, marking your support and resistance, entering it the same way, and you do it over and 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 over. And guess what? You're going to become a proficient trader. You won't have to be on the chart with your friends, for days and hours and getting tired and falling out and all that other stuff. Instead, you'll be able to command 10 pips out of the market. And that's the skill. If you can get 10 pips out of the market at will, you already saw that in 27 trades, you could be over $1 million in the next 30 days. You can get over $1 million. I didn't make that up. You guys saw the black and white. You guys seen the figures in front of you. Okay. And so that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. Hopefully, I'm very confident this trade is going to hit my 10 pips. I may even look at a few other trades going on. And guys, that's really it. Just to answer some questions that I've had before. Some people ask, Shawn, what is your premier trading time? again, find a trading time that works with your particular schedule and master that. I believe you only need an hour to 2 hours at most within any session to go ahead and get your pips. Again, I'm just in to get 10 pips. And if I can get my 4 trades out of the way, that's what I'm going to do. And so for me, with my schedule, I got family, I'm fully self-employed, and I have, some dictation over my schedule, but I still have a lot of responsibility. I do a lot of volunteer work, this and that. We have another business outside of here. So my best time is usually from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 on the New York session. That shows the most volatility for me. That's the perfect time for me. I'm in and out. I usually can go ahead and get at least 20 pips out of the market and get my 2. Sometimes I can get all 4 of my trades right there on the New York session, and then I'm done for the day. If I'm shooting for 4 trades, I shoot for 4 trades a day. Okay, and then the London session. Okay, I'll trade at 3:30 when I do get on. I know I got other people like Rosie and Betty. We haven't been on a London session in a minute because I just love my sleep, guys. So it's been hard to get up. But when I do, like those guys in the beer commercial. But when I do trade, what I do is I get up from 3:30 to 5:30, and guess what? That's when the market's moving for the London session for me. I jump in, get my pips, I get on out, I jump back in my bed, call it a morning. Okay. And here's the real secret that you get. If you practice that and you get used to looking at your pairs, okay, I only trade a couple pairs per session. Okay, for me on the London session, GJ and EJ are my pairs. Now you need to find your pairs. It doesn't have to be those. Okay, on the New York session, I'm GU and EU. Okay, GBP USD and Euro USD. Those are my go-tos. But that doesn't mean I don't trade anything else. Doesn't mean I don't trade what's on the harmonic scanner or trade what's on the web analyzer. If it's a good trade and I can clearly see, like Stevie Wonder, that I can get 10 pips, I don't care what pair it is. I'm going to get those 10 pips and get out. But if I'm trading on my own and I'm not using those tools, then I go to my go-to pairs. But again, I go through my system. If it's not on the currency strength meter, if it's not looking right, I don't jump in my pair for that day. I just don't. Okay? I'm not going to put myself at risk. I'm in to try to gain pips to work on my growth chart, not lose pips. Okay? And what it is I'm trying to teach you guys to get the noise out. Okay? Eliminate all the unnecessary stuff, all the unnecessary news, and you guys are looking at articles, and you guys are, I got this telegram that told me that, Bitcoin's going to do this and it's going to do that. Look, I get it, but it adds noise and distraction. Okay, just get in, focus on your pairs, okay, and then do what you need to do. Let's look here real quick. I heard the web analyzer. Let's see if we have another classic trade. Again, we're going to let that one go right now. I'll just glance at that real quick, see if that bringing any money. Come on now, what we see? Refreshing it up. Oops, let's see. Sorry guys, let me let the system refresh itself. See what any new trade popped up. Okay, so this is on a 5-minute NZD-JPY. Let me glance at that. Let's see what that's looking like real quick. We might be able to get in a couple trades here so you guys can make some money on this thing. So it's not just learning, but I want you guys to walk away making some money and show you that trading actually works. There's no, mysticism with it. It's just a matter of knowing that. Okay, so on a 5-minute, it's going up in a buy. Looks like it wants to turn, but here's the thing. This is a 5-minute. I don't particularly. Sometimes I trade a 5-minute, but on this one, it's starting to turn down the sell. But the only thing I need to wait as a confirmation is the PSAR flip. If I see this dot start to get on top, then that lets me know I can go down. And again, what I want to do is I want to make sure I follow my system. Again, it's ingrained in me. I'm going to put a line here. Okay. Just to kind of let me know, where I'm at on the scale here. So I'm not going to get lost. So here's my space. Let's see how much space I got. Okay. Not bad. I got about 14 pips gap in there. That's good. So this is something I'm going to mark to possibly jump in. I could jump in now because I got the Hakanashi candles. But I want to follow the strategy because it does work, and wait for that P star to go on top. Once it does, I can enter on this 5 minute, and guess what? I'm going to make a 10 pip take profit. That's all. I'm just going to wait for when I jump in, 10 pips from there. I'm going to get it. So going to 15. Okay. See, so clearly on the 15 minute hasn't flipped yet. So it's early. Okay. So I can just put that in my mental bank right now that is preparing. All I need to wait and see. Actually, we got 55 seconds. If you guys can wait, let's see what the next candle brings. I'm hoping that'll be a red candle and a PSAR flip on top. And guess what? That'll be a nice one to possibly jump in for a sell and get your 10 pips. Okay. We're in between here. That's all I look for is, do I have enough space? And I don't want it to be like come down and I'm all the way to 10 pips right there. I like to see 15 so that I'm somewhere here in the middle. That lets me know that, hey, I can make it here and not worry about it reversing too early before I get to my 10 pips. We have 20 seconds left on this. What I'm looking for again is I'm looking for a red candle, and I'm looking for this red dot to be on top of the red candle to give me my confirmation to enter. That's what I'm looking for. If it doesn't show up, then I'm not ready yet. And that's the problem. Some of us jump in too early. It's 3 seconds, 2, 1. Let's see. Red candle. Okay. Is a PSAR going to show up? Don't see one yet. Let's give it a moment. And guys, again, it's your preference. Especially if you use this strategy, it's your preference when you decide to get in. It's an individual sport. But what I try to do is, I try to continue to master the skill and do what I do. So look, it's changing green, all that. See, because the PSAR is on top. See, that's where I could have got in too early, and I could be burnt by it possibly. So I'm gonna sit here for a minute and wait. In the meantime, we got that one NZD. Let's see if there's another one. Okay, let's look at GBP USD underneath. That was on a 5 minute. See how that one's looking. And see, I'm just showing you how to use the tool effectively, how I look at it. I don't automatically just jump in. I want to see something. Okay, so that looks good. All right, so on a 5 minute, this is what I was looking for. It did a PSAR flip. It's on top. 5 minute. Look, my stochastic is headed down. That's exactly what I want to see. Okay. Now all I need to do is just make sure, what are my levels here? What are my levels? So I have a level here. Let me go up one time frame, kind of like that. That's good. I like that. Okay, I like that in 10 minutes. So truly, if it's going to turn on me, not bad. I got about 15 pips to play with. I could jump early on the 5. Let's see. This could be a good one too. I'd like to see it on the 15-minute turn. What is the par? The PSAR setting. It's to default. It's a default setting. There's no special Michelada. It's just you just pull it up, and whatever is defaulted to is what you leave it to. And that's the good thing. You don't have to switch up anything. Okay. So this is good. GBP USD. Let me look back, see how we're looking. Let's go back to my MetaTrader. See how that's looking. That was GBP USD. Okay, this one's still dancing around. It's going to do that. I mean, see, here's the thing. I'm used to trading at this time of day, as far as when I'm training. So there's a lot of consolidation that goes on at this point in time. So I'm not really sweating that it's still dancing around. I expect that because everything's moving kind of slow. Let me close this up. GBP USD is what we're looking at. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. looking at the 5 minutes, what came up. Okay. Supposed to be headed down. Remember, I went to my 15-minute. Even though it is curving, I still would like to see on the 50-minute at least maybe one red with a PSAR to be a little bit more comfortable. That's what I'd like to see. So that may mean a couple more 5 minutes may need to pop up for me to be certain. Maybe. 503. See, this is another thing that I do. For depending on how your chart's set up, I look at the numbers, and if I start seeing it drop, then that also lets me know that I'm kind of heading in the right direction. See, because it's dancing up and down, I'm hesitant to jump in, and it's not moving fast. Sometimes, guys, you can look at your numbers, and you don't have to look at these. You can look at these numbers right here, over here on the left-hand side. You see it's not moving fast. See how slow? It's barely moving. So that kind of lets me kind of, it's not really moving. Do I want to even sit in this trade for that long? I don't know. I may just choose to pass because I like it to move faster. And when you are in the middle of a session, when you're in the middle of your New York session, it moves faster. When you're in the middle of your London session, it definitely moves faster. So I'm not used to it moving this slow. I could get the 10 pips, but it's going to be a while before it does it. And you see it dancing with the other pair. Look, it's just bouncing. It's taking forever just to get 10. We went as far as 7 pips. I was 3 pips away, and it still didn't do that. Now, some people say, look, Shawn, why don't you just close and just take the 7 pips? Yeah, you can definitely do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, if that's the way you like to trade, then you do that. But here's the thing. I like to see the feeling of accomplishment. This is just Shawn, not you. I like to see that if I put my mind, if I'm speaking it with my tongue that I'm going to get 10 pips, I'm not going to get out of the trade until I get my 10 pips. And then when it happens, guess what? That just reaffirms, my proficiency. That's just like, that's what I said. I said I was going to get it. I got it. Now let's move to the next one. And, it's just something about that. When I cut it short, it's kind of like, well, maybe you overguessed. See, and now I question what I'm looking at, and I don't want to do that. I want to be, if I say 10 pips, then I commit to it and I go all in. And so I'm going to let this trade ride till I get my 10 pips. Eventually it is going to get it. Even if it shoots up here, guess what? Eventually it'll turn back around. It'll come down and he can get my 10 pips because I'm not that far in it. I'm going to be in this zone. So probably going to dance for a minute and go from there. So I just kind of want you to get the mental talk that I even tell myself. See, it was headed down. Now it's coming. So we have to see if it's going to, if it's going to come back up. Is it going to go down and finally close? You just don't know. You don't know if this is a pullback, just a small pullback or not. Those are the things that you determine when you're trading. But guess what? I'm in it. I don't worry about it. I just commit to it and I go about my business. I'm just like, okay, let's see what else is happening. Okay. Let's look back over here. Okay. Created another one there. Let's look at this 15. Did it make a red? It did. Okay. That's what I'd like to see. Okay. But look, my numbers hadn't changed a whole lot. I'm dancing between, 503 to 507. It kind of bounced back up 6. So see, it hasn't really moved the way I want to. So before I commit to that, I may want to see, like I said, a PSAR jump because it lets me know that, okay, at least for the next 15 to 20 minutes, it's going to be in this downtrend. And I pretty much have the confidence that it's going to make 10 pips. Okay. For now, if I don't see that PSAR, then I'm not going to touch it right now. Okay. Looks good, but not quite yet. I'm jumping in too early. Okay. Everything looks good. My stochastic looks good. It's turning. The red is coming. That's what I wanted to see. Now I need to see a red with a PSAR on top. And then guess what? That'll be my go. Get ready, get set. That's my go. I'll jump in, put it my take profit for 10. See, it dropped down from 508. So it dropped down 3 pips, but I still needed to do what it does. So these are the conversations I have with myself, guys. Sometimes it takes a couple more minutes, but guess what I'm not thinking about? I'm not thinking about the currency strength. I'm not thinking about the news. I'm not wondering about my support and resistance because I would have already had it. Now I can pinpoint on my entry and make it precise. And by making it precise is just learning the strategy. And the better that you become at that strategy, the more proficient you're going to be at getting in, get those 10 pips and get out. Okay. And when you study the pairs, when you find your favorite pairs, you'll know how it moves. See, I know the GBP USD, since we're looking, it moves slow now because guess what? We're not in the New York session. In the New York session, it moves the fastest between what? 8:30 to 10:30. That's where I'm used to. So I knew that if I had looked at the same trade at 8:30 in the morning, I would have already had my 10 pips. It would have, two candles, probably would have hit my 10 pips. I would have got out. I'm good. Okay, probably could have jumped in again if it hasn't hit its support or resistance. I could have probably jumped in again because it's going to move faster. But because we're at this time of night, this is not the premier time for this pair. It's going to move slow. And see, look, it's creeping down, but not fast. I'm at 502. Remember, I was at 508. It dropped down 6 pips. Not bad. Okay, but I'm still not confident that, it may go. It may pull back and reverse on me. But, to each their own. Made another PSR. Maybe I probably could have made it. Okay. But again, that's trial and error. And if anything, nothing wrong with being overly cautious. Okay. So with that, I'm going to kind of wrap this up. I want to see if you guys have any questions. Let me see how my other trade's doing. Still bouncing around. Okay. Look at that. Red PSR coming. That's what I like. Okay. Maybe it'll push down now. And you see, guys, look, these PSRs were still on top. Even though the green candles came, you see, it was in a pullback. Just like we said, PSR was still on top. So it lets me know it's still headed down. So I'm still confident it's going to go hit my 10 pips. It's going to take a minute. That's all. Just got to be patient now. All right. Does anybody have any questions, any comments? Let me know, did you get something out of this training? Yes, no, maybe so. Anybody want to add something to their experience? Tell me about your trading system. What do you guys do to enter a trade? Where are you going to go for the London session? Donita kind of asked me that again. Where am I going to go for the London session? You can unmute yourself. Like I said, this is an interactive call. You can ask. Let me see. Okay, I unmuted you, Donita. What can you speak? What are
your go-to trades for the London session?
Oh, okay, great question. Yeah, my go-to trades is GJ and EJ. Okay, GBP, JPY, and Euro JPY. Those are my go-tos. But of course, like I said, sometimes when those aren't moving, I will look at some other pairs. I'll look at maybe Euro odd. I will look at maybe a USD JPY. I will look at GBP USD. I'll look at that because you are in the GBP session. So yeah, I do look at other ones, but those are my first two. Like when I pop on my London session, I automatically put those two on my chart and I'm looking at that. Okay. But if those aren't moving the way, if it's in consolidation, and I can pretty much tell as soon as the session opens, how it's moving, whether it's going to be a good day or not, whether I'm going to get pips or not. That's how well I know my pair. And when I see it consolidating and it's 3:30 and it hasn't moved in a trend, I go back to bed. I'm like, nope, it's not going to do anything today. And then when I hear people that were on London session, they get off like, no, we didn't get any pips today. I'm kind of like, yeah, I was right. Any other questions? Come on, guys. This is the time. Please feel free to ask whatever you like. All right, cool. Nobody has any questions? Yes, no? Okay. Well, let's see. All right, check in the chat. Make sure nobody. Okay, well, great. Well, guys, look, I held you long enough. Again, my name is Shawn James. This is our Trading 101. Every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Standard Eastern Time, we will be right here in the same place. We've been doing it for the last 3 years. Plus, I want to say thank you for those of you on YouTube Live who decided to come and chime in on our trading class. Thank you so much for being a part of our class tonight. If you want more information on how to get involved in the I Am Mastery Academy, please go ahead and shoot me a message, and I'll be glad to pair you with one of the leaders that's here on this call to kind of help you. And again, we're going to coach you and be successful at your trading, because we want you guys to get to the other side of money. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. And if you can, for me, if you heard about this in the Telegram or team app or something, please just put maybe a nice little word on what you think about the class, so that other people will know that we're doing this, and then they can go ahead and be a part of this. I don't care what team they're on. We don't discriminate. You don't have to be on a certain team to join us. We just want people winning in I Am Mastery Academy, and those who are looking, we want them to have a safe haven place where they can come and ask their questions and start to learn the skill set. Okay, so with that being said, guys, thank you so much. Have a great night, and I will see you next week. All right, thank you, Joan. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Shawn.
You're welcome. Thank you, Miss Betty.